The concept of the 100 Cols Challenge originated from a personal challenge I set myself 5 years ago, which was to link 3 established routes designed by a French club called the Club des 100 Cols, and I set myself a task of doing 300 of them in 26 days. Got pretty scared by the prospect, particularly about 3 days into the ride, when I really thought this is actually probably a lot more than I bargained for. Having come through it and achieved something that to begin with I really thought was not going to be achievable and was going to be impossible to finish, I kind of thought, what do I do now? Do I just do something bigger, or do I actually try and share this in some way with other people? And so I chose the latter. Each stage is roughly between 180 and 210 kilometres. I try to keep that a steady, consistent distance. Again, just so the body gets used to a similar demand on each day. Some days involve more climbing than others, obviously. But I guess the type of rider, he needs to have put in the hours of training. I think it's the miles and the legs that get people around this. He needs to know what climbing for 2 hours non-stop means. You can train on the Surrey Hills, that's great, but you do need to have done some long climbing as well. So it's probably about that ability to endure the long climbs, and probably as much, if not more, about the ability to recover. To be able to rest up properly and your body can recover, and you can get up the next morning and do it all over again. The hardest thing in this event usually is the first 3 days out of the 10. And on the 3rd day particularly is days when I have to coax people through moments when they think, sorry, this is too much, I'm stopping. Because the body still hasn't quite got used to the shock of that daily getting up and starting out and going up yet another one more hill. The 2nd week is always the best week for the riders because they can actually start to enjoy it. They suffer less, they're tired, but their bodies are used to it, and in fact their actual form, their cycling form, is improving day by day. I think primarily people leave these events with an immense personal library of moments, very, very special flashing moments that they've lived on the road, on their bike, and images. Because when you're out on the roads, often on your own in the mountains, and yet again pushing those pedals up one more mountain, everything becomes intense, extreme, and the present moment becomes incredibly rich and strong. And through that, I think everyone goes away with moments to look back on and to reminisce on for months afterwards. So there's that, but I think there's also the real sense of camaraderie and almost a sort of a family that has grown already on this particular event between the riders. It is probably also why there are so many people who do these events and come back again, because they live something really strong.